So I took a Waymo for the first time last night. When I'm driving around in LA, especially when I have my kids with me, like, it's two things my kids is always gonna point out when we ride around. They're gonna point out all the fucking Cybertrucks just because they just like Cybertrucks, they kids. And they're gonna point out all the fucking Waymos, the fucking self-driving Waymos and shit. Like, my kids love cars and shit. Like, my son especially, he like fast cars. He always gonna point out the Supra thing. He always gonna point out a fucking Corvette. And he always gonna point out anything that look like it's from what he called a Vroom Vroom game, which is any kind of racing game that we got, and that we play on like the PlayStation and shit. I mean, my son is 6, you know, but in particular, like, my oldest, she's 9, and every time she sees one of the self-driving cars, her first question is there somebody driving it? Because sometimes there be people driving it. Most of the time, it's nobody driving the motherfucker. And number 2, her second question is always gonna be, can we follow it? Can we follow it? She always wanna follow the fucking Waymos. The reason why I say we can't follow the Waymos, and we tried to one time, and that was the last time. The reason why we can't follow the Waymos and shit and see where the fuck they be going and shit is because they drive too slow. Like, they go the speed limit, which I guess they supposed to. It's the whole point, right? Safety and all that shit. But they drive too slow for my liking. They drive too slow for me. If I'm like riding behind a fucking Waymo, I need to be past that motherfucker. But last night, I took a fucking Waymo for the first time and shit. Like, really? Because, yo, you know how like Uber do the surge pricings and all that shit, like, and there's a lot of Ubers out there, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with the Uber, you know, in Ubers all the time. But Ubers, sometimes it's like, when you just got done, you know, eating sushi and drinking fucking hot sake and, you know, shit like that, like on the happy hour, off the extended happy hour, like, the last thing you try and do is to fucking deal with, you know what I'm saying, a fucking high price Uber. Like, Uber's Lyft prices be outrageous and shit. So I said, let me fuck with the I just seen the shit driving down. I said, let me fuck with the Waymo. Right? So I'm, you know, I gotta get from West LA to Inglewood, like, you know, fucking Santa Monica to Inglewood and shit, like, you know, Santa Monica area and shit. So I said, all right, man, let me get the fucking Waymo. So I download the Waymo app and shit, you know, it's just like Uber. And you know, so I do all this shit. The price wasn't that bad. The price wasn't bad at all. The bitch was only $13. Say, yo, this is kind of crazy right now. Like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, the price wasn't all that bad. I guess they could do like the lower prices, cause it'd be a million of them bitches driving around. So it's like, you know, the price was cool, and you ain't got to motherfucking worry about the driver. Like, I ain't have to worry about paying the motherfucking tip, which was cool. And I'm always a generous tipper on anything. I just got finished tipping the, you know, the fucking waitress at the side, at the fucking at the sushi spot and all that, you know. So I get into the I do the Waymo shit, gets into the app, and set the locations and all that shit, and Waymo, it said, all right, yo, this is where the shit gonna pull up at, Cole. So I'm at the spot where this shit gonna pull up at, and the motherfucker, it said meet at the pickup spot. So it's like an Uber, the little pin, and the motherfucker drives right by me into, and where we was at, like, it was no like, we was on the corner. That's where the restaurant was. We was on the corner, and like, it's not at like a light where there's an intersection. Like, it's not at an intersection. It's like there's no light right there, so it's traffic going both ways. I think the intersection was like another like block up. So the motherfucker drives right by me into traffic. I mean, it was oncoming and it was going traffic. Like, it was kind of like inching out, and then it fucking busted left, and it fucking left. Like, what the fuck? And so it said it was gonna try again. So I walked to another position right next to the fucking restaurant, and the bitch came back around again, drove by me. So I come to find out, I'm looking around like, what the fuck is going on? So I look at where I'm standing at, and on the app it say new pickup spot, see you soon, right? And it did that twice. I'm like, so what the fuck is going on right now? So I'm like, oh, this shit already starting out bad. Like, I already don't like a Waymo now. I already don't fuck with a Waymo because they drive too slow. But now I'm really starting to not fuck with the Waymo because motherfucker ain't even want to pick me up now. So I'm looking around like, what the fuck's going on? And I look down at where I'm at. And where I was at, it was like, it wasn't, I guess, a red zone. I put that in air quotes. Y'all can't see me, but that's air quotes. It wasn't like a red zone, but the paint on the curb was faded. It was super faded. So I guess the Waymo, I guess it could have been a red zone. It was a red zone, but the paint was super faded. It was dumb faded. So it looked like it was just a regular fucking curb. But I guess the Waymo identified it as a red zone. So it didn't stop. It wouldn't stop right there to pick you up. It would just keep going. So, like, I kept walking around, but then it gave me a location. It said, go here. So I went to the location it gave me. Cool, I got in that motherfucker. You go to the app, and it said you gotta use the phone to unlock the doors and shit. Like, when it pull up, get your license plate and all that shit, just like Uber. And so I opens the shit, I gets into the Waymo, and already, like, I'm looking around and I'm like, yo, this is like some next level shit, in the sense that, like, our kids is gonna be thinking back like, yo, y'all motherfuckers was driving yourselves around, bro. When you gotta do that shit? Like, we just hop in the bitch and go. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the future is bright for the kids. They ain't gotta drive shit if they don't want to. And I'm a motherfucker. I love driving. Like, I drive I live in LA. I love driving, you know? Like, so you get in, and then either on the app on your phone, or like there's like a screen in the back seat, like you click the shit and it say starts your shit. But hey, that shit was a little nerve-wracking. Like, it was a little like herky-jerky, like with the maneuvers and shit. Like, but I mean, it got me to where I needed to go safely. You know what I'm saying? And like, while while you in the motherfucker, like you could change the music or like it'll do like ambient sounds and shit, you know. You could set the vibe in the Waymo, set the Waymo vibes, right? Or you could play the music off your phone and shit. That shit connect, but I ain't want to connect to my phone or nothing like that, so I ain't do that. But you could choose what you want to listen to and shit. They got the support person you could call on the phone, and then you could talk to them through the car and all that shit, which is cool. It's a little nerve-wracking though, like it's just like seeing the motherfucking steering wheel just moving and shit around. Nobody in that motherfucker. And I'm just sitting there like I'm chilling, like, you feel me? But what I really liked about it, and this is like not no slight to service industries and all that shit, but I didn't have to tip the driver. Like usually I tip a driver a lot because I know like they don't really get it. They don't really see a lot of that Uber bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, Uber driver don't really see a lot of that money. Like I know that for a fact. The Uber driver told me one time, like, yo, you know, you want to cancel this shit? Like we could cancel the trip and you could just pay me the little $20 like in cash. So that's when I got hit a long time. I'm like, oh shit, like this how this shit is. Like the Uber drivers don't really make no money off this shit. Like that's why they got to do so many trips. Like anytime I see a Uber driver got like 5,000 trips or 10,000 trips, I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers be driving. You feel me? Like, so I'm in the Waymo. The Waymo shit was cool. It was just a little, just the driving style is a little, you know, nerve-wracking for me. But it was cool though. Like, it was just like the shock and awe of actually like being in the motherfucker for the first time. I mean, the novelty wears off. You know what I mean? Like, as with anything. But that shit was cool. Like that experience of like seeing what like the future of the world is. Now, granted, you know, the idea that like you never know what the fuck a machine is gonna do, like an AI power machine or, you know, a sensor power machine, or, you know, is gonna do, and you don't have no control over what the shit is kind of nuts. But I guess the thought process to get around that is to like, yo, when you on the motherfucking I'm not gonna say a subway car because they have like conductors and shit, or like the Metro Rail be having conductors, but like if you on like a tram or something at, you know, Disneyland or some shit, like, or at the airport, you know, like all that shit is automated too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, granted there's no traffic around, like the Waymo really be having to think, like, to be in the Waymo and that bitch is trying to get over or trying to like merge or get into another lane and shit like that. Like, yo, you be looking around like, all right, motherfucker, go, motherfucker. But then like the whole steering wheel will turn and shit. Like, it wouldn't be like no gradual turn, like a little smooth little, that bitch would turn and then get into the lane like almost like 90 degrees, you know? So that shit was kind of weird, but I could see the vision. Like, in all sincerity, like I could see what the vision of the Waymo shit is. It's a little trippy at first, but I mean, it was already a trippy night, so I'm like, fuck you, man. Let me see what this Waymo shit is about. And I mean, sometimes I talk to Uber drivers, sometimes I don't. It depends on the vibe the Uber driver's giving me. You feel me? Like, anytime I get into Uber, I always speak and say what's up, you know? And depending on how friendly they is, like, that's kind of my cue on whether or not I'm gonna, you know, spill a couple words or not. But you ain't got to talk to the motherfucker. You just can have your motherfucking vibes, yo. They got the ambient noises or house music, whatever whatever playlist you want, top hits. So you could play all that shit in the Waymo. And I think here's what I would say. I would say it's a combination of a little bit anxiety inducing, just because the idea of you're looking at somebody that's a fucking, like, you're looking in the driver's seat and nobody's there, but the motherfucker's still driving. But also it's, I guess, relaxing is probably what I would say. Like, it's anxiety inducing and it's relaxing at the same time, if there ever was a healthy combination of the two. I think that's what I would say being in the Waymo is like. Would I do it again? I probably would, just because, like, now that you did the shit, it's like, all right, I see the vision. And again, like, your Ubers be getting out of control and shit, but the Waymos, for places that got Waymos all around, like, I get it. I get what the shit is about. I just seen the Waymo bus the other day. They had the VW bus, the new bus, the new van and shit, like electric van. They got them Waymos out here now in LA. I only seen one, but it's out here now. So yeah, that's my experience with the Waymo. What do I rate it? 8 out of 10? I would give it an 8 out of 10. That ain't bad right there. It's not bad at all. I fuck with it. I would do it again, for sure. Would you try the Waymo? Let me know in the comments. I gotta say that shit. Let me know in the comments and all that. But also, I fuck with y'all. Thanks for listening.